we're coming up. We're in June right now. Before you know it, SEC Media Days will be here. Fall camp will be here. And I mean, we're heck, I'm giving my predictions for the season in like 3 weeks. So we're getting full force preseason for Shane Beamer's first year. I mean, I feel like the electricity in the city, everybody's already buzzing, excited. Night game to open it up. And, believe it or not, we were joking off air. I think people, I've been preaching all preseason and, how excited I am for what Beamer's doing and patience, which again, I don't know if people would expect me to say that, but it is what it is, whatever. But I think people all understand, and you talk to former players like yourself, and, it's not going to be an overnight thing. You got to recruit. I'm actually reading Lou Holtz's book about his, and I've talked about this book, I feel like a ton, but I'm reading his book about the 1988 championship season at Notre Dame. And he talks about like the importance of recruiting, and you got to have the players. Bottom line, you can have the greatest coaches in the world, but if you don't have elite athletes,
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be really, really tough. You can only coach them to some degree. But from your perspective, again, I'm sure you'd agree and tell the fan base, hey, be patient. You've already kind of said what you want to see from this season. I'm not going to ask you for a record prediction or, this is a key game, or to walk through the schedule. But when you just think of Shane Beamer's first season, if you had to define a successful first year, what would it be? And again, I'd love to, maybe if fans hear you say it about the patience, why that needs to be a thing, because he's just starting out year one, building a program, truly laying the foundation. And that's what I want to see, is the foundation.
Number one, progression from game to game. There's got to be a stepping stone. There's got to be, we may have won a game, but the next game, it's got to be cleaner.
You're a better team in week 12 than you were in week 1.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you'll end up in a bowl game. If they end up in a bowl game and there's obvious progression, they've had a successful year, because you can recruit on that.
Yeah.
Coach Muschamp did.
Yeah. You can sell that. You can sell that.
You can sell that. Look at the direction of our program. Because if you really look in the conference, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, I can't get a grip on Florida, man. Dan Mullen is down there running the Wild West. Him and DeSantis are just ripping down there, right?
Yeah.
But, besides Georgia in the East, Tennessee's, we really have a chance to take the next step in the conference and get back to being in the front of the East, and a chance to get to Atlanta every year. That's a selling point. And I think what Clemson sold to get to where they're at now is, we're going to do things that nobody's ever done here. It's going to be a special place, and you're going to love going to school here. You are going to love playing football here. Your parents are going to make sure you come play football here. That's what happened with Clemson, is that parents were begging their kids to go there. And as a kid, your parents go to Clemson. You're like, at least that makes you interested. Right. That's what they're building. And so they've progression each and every game. Win a game you're not supposed to, and don't lose a game you're not supposed to. And you look up and you're 7-5 and you're playing in a decent bowl with a chance to win 8 games. My prediction. Yeah. My hope. How about that?
Yeah.
My hope would be 12-0 national title. Probably not going to happen.
Right.
But here's the deal. I mean, you get to a 7-5 season with a chance to win an 8th in a bowl game, and you do year one, dude, you'll see our recruiting change. Yeah. Because it did with Spurrier. Yeah. You saw it.
And that's what I was going to say. Those first couple of years under Spurrier, again, I think he did more with less with those. And there were talented players on those rosters. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I just – that's my biggest thing in the sense, I had a buddy pose this question. Would you rather go 5-7 but lose 6 of the 7 by a touchdown, or go – and, again, these are hypotheticals. He's like, or go 6-6, but you get blown out in 5 of the 6 games. And exactly, because like you're saying, when you're showing that progression, I feel like you can sell that to prospects. Like, you're the missing piece. Like, we're just a couple missing. And I feel like when Coach Spurrier landed that 07 class, which eventually, had Garcia, it had DeMarco, it had Melvin Ingram, and you started getting the Swearingers and the Alshons. He was selling that like we're a guy away. Yeah. And you can see it. You could literally see it. And that's the biggest thing for me. Again, I think recruiting is going to return to norm. We've always been able to recruit. Coach Muschamp was an excellent recruiter. We've never had troubles recruiting at least a top 25 clip. But I think in that first year, at least establishing that foundation.
We've got a staff of recruiters too, which is good. That's going to help.
I mean, hey, Coach Beamer was the one that was doing the recruiting for that 07 class and all the, recruited the best Gamecocks
That's
ever.
what he's doing now. That's all he's doing is recruiting. He is taking, and I know Gamecock fans are not going to want to hear it, and he's putting his own spin on it, but the Dabo Sweeney model is let your coordinators coach football. go and recruit and be the figurehead for your program and recruit. And there's when your head coach of your team is personally recruiting you versus a position coach, you're recruiting coach for your territory, his territory, it carries a long way, even if it's the OC or DC. But when the head coach is actively recruiting you, there's something to be said for that. Like, oh damn, they really want me. Head coach is really, if the head coach is after me, it'll carry weight. And then just like you said, yeah, you can sell on that. You know, we say this year we go 5-7, but man, let me tell you, we give Clemson hell.
Right.
We give them all they can handle. We give Georgia all they can handle. Florida, you're not really laying and getting crushed by anybody, right? Because then you can see it, because week 12 will be here against Clemson, right? Thanksgiving weekend. We go out there and hit them in the mouth, and we leave them a couple of moments in the game scared.
Right.
Then you'll feel the tide turn. But since they beat us in 2014, I guess my year we gave them some hell a little bit, but since then they have just pecker slapped us. Yeah. And it's brutal to admit, because that their foot is on our neck right now. If we can at least get off of that and stand back up to them, you know, that's when kids will notice that. Kids will notice it. Kids love our facility. The facilities are incredible. Yeah. The atmosphere here is literally second to none. I've been at a lot of different places. It's incredible. So when there's progression there, kids have a chance to play early, great facilities, great atmosphere. Kids are going to come play here.